from Coach. If you have a question for Coach, send me a message in chat, and I'll call on you, and we'll start the process. Looks like Coach Fleck is here. Coach, ready for your opening statement when you are, sir.
Appreciate it, Paul. Hopefully Antoine and Tyler are done speaking because they take away precedent over me. So hopefully we got some people in the room, but if you need to leave and go listen to them, they're way more important. So first, just want to say Happy New Year to everybody out there. This is the first time we got a chance to talk since right after the first signing day, right before Wisconsin, which was a little odd. But Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully 2021 brings everybody something new and different than maybe in 2020. We're excited to add a lot more Gophers to our program, whether through the transfer portal, high school signees, some walk-ons, which we're not going to get into every single person like we did after signing day in December. And then just congratulations to Tyler, Antoine, and Damian. Having 3 Gophers in the Super Bowl is really, really amazing. It's a tremendous accomplishment for all of them. All Gophers should be really, really proud. Minnesota should be proud. And the great thing about it is no matter what, Minnesota is going to win a Super Bowl, right? I mean, the Gophers are going to win the Super Bowl somehow, some way. So we're really excited about those guys. And I know they're really excited about the opportunity. I mean, Damian with the Chiefs, who I don't know that well, but I know that he's really excited to be back there. And then, Tyler and Antoine, I mean, they're both rookies playing in the Super Bowl. And I think we could all somewhat predict that when they got drafted by Tampa. And then all of a sudden Tom Brady came there. It was their chances went way up as rookies. But we're really proud of them, really excited for them, and cannot wait to watch that game. So with that, we're going to open up for questions, go right to questions. Because you probably just don't want to hear me talk about everything else. So we'll go to you.
Coach, we do love hearing you talk. And the first question.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
You're welcome. First question comes from Ryan Burns.
Hey, PJ.
Hi, Ryan.
So I'm curious, when you look at this 21 recruiting class overall, including the 5 scholarship transfers that you now have on campus and enrolled, what were some of the major goals that you believe you and your staff addressed?
Yeah, I mean, there were a few. Obviously, you want to, we have people at every single position, except specialist part, but we're working on that as we speak, as we continue to go in the next week or 2 weeks. Should have hopefully that wrapped up in the next few weeks. We'll see how that all plays out. But we wanted to be able to, if you look at our team, our defensive line, we really wanted to attack, whether it's the outside, inside, get longer, get bigger, have guys that have the ability to go inside plus outside to inside. We can move a lot of people on third down in terms of our blitz packages. And then the linebacker position we wanted to sew up. We had some guys out from last year, which we knew were getting back. And with the transfer portal, not only that, with the year not counting last year, you never really know what the next few years are going to bring. In a normal cycle, you can kind of tell, how many players are going to be leaving, how many are going to be coming in. In the next 3 to 4 years, that presents the biggest challenge I think that we have just in college football. What's that super freshman class? That's now a super duper freshman class with 50 plus players. When they leave at the end of 4 years, not only that is what people decide when and what people decide to leave in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, because of the year last year, not necessarily counting towards their eligibility. How many stay for the entirety? How many people leave somewhat early? But that's going to be one of the biggest challenges. And then when you kind of look at the offensive side of the ball, we want to be able to continue at the wide receiver position, the O-line, tight ends. I mean, we got every single position, but we wanted to create, at least in 2021, with the recruiting, we said we're going to take about 17, 18 high school players. And then we said we're going to keep it open for some transfers, whether it's multi-year transfers, 1-year transfers, to kind of put some depth at some positions and create even more competition at that position than we had last year. And I think we hit that goal spot on, bullseye for exactly what we wanted to do. We have a lot more depth than we've ever had at the defensive line, and we wanted to be able to create that. We had a lot of freshmen there playing last year who are now another year experience, have a ton of, starts and play under their belt. Then we bring in some more experience to add to that. That was going to be a major focus for us, was on the defensive front 7. And I think we accomplished that goal.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Daniel House.
Hey, PJ.
Hi, Daniel.
What stood out when you were evaluating Niles Pinckney, and do you think he's going to be able to play multiple techniques in this system?
Yeah, first and foremost, his maturity. Niles is a very, very mature young man. He's a father, has a 3-year-old son, and, he has a lot of responsibility, and, it's very important to him. His life's important to him. Remember, we talk about the right fit. It's not just about him being a great player. He was a captain at Clemson. He's a 2-time national champion, played in a ton of games. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we wanted him. We felt like we can inject him right into the defensive line room with other leaders on that unit. He could step in and also lead them, help lead the young guys, bring depth to a position that we feel like we need to be really successful. And he's an amazing person. Again, he's living his life for not only himself, but others with his son. And I think that's really important. He was a perfect fit for us. Didn't take long to get that one done. It just it seemed to be a perfect marriage with us. And we're really excited about him and his future here.
Let's go to Meg Ryan.
Hi, PJ. How are you?
Hi, Meg. Doing elite. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I know we're talking about new guys coming in, but I was also wondering if you had a little bit more clarity on some of the guys that might not be returning, whether it's seniors not coming back for a 5th year or, medical retirements. I guess I'm just kind of curious what moving parts are coming out of the team that's kind of maybe making room for some of these incomers.
Yeah, there's not a ton. There's not a lot when you look at some of the guys. Noah Hickox has left. We wish him all the best, and had an opportunity to play somewhere else. And I think that's what the transfer portal is really used for, is the ability that if you're not going to be able to play, to have an opportunity to play and use your eligibility. And I think Noah used that perfectly. He's an amazing young man. He's got a very bright future, and we wish him the best. We had some of the guys on our roster graduate. And once you graduate, you have the choice to keep playing or move on into the real world, right? And to the business world. We had some guys do that. And then we had some guys with some injuries, that decided to hang it up. So those decisions like that are not made by me. Those are outside medical decisions. Not many of them, but in football, that's something that's going to happen when you have 130 players. And, sometimes it's after surgery, sometimes that happens. Some people are, don't have the luck as some others of staying healthy. And that's part of our game. So we had a few in each category, which again, that's just part of the natural attrition that takes place in college football, like you see all over the country right now.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Chris Long with KSTP. Chris.
Hey, PJ, how are you?
I'm doing elite, Chris. Good to see you, man.
Daniel kind of grabbed mine. I was going to ask about Niles Pinckney, but I'll kind of move to another topic. I know we're talking recruits, but it's the first time we've had a chance to talk to you in a while, as you said. Anytime a name pops up for a program like Tennessee, it becomes a big deal. Can you just talk about how that went? And did you speak with them? And how close, how far was any of that from happening? Or was that just your name popped up and that was all there was to it?
Yeah, I'm committed to the University of Minnesota. I think that's the easiest way to do it. We love it here. Simple as that, and I think my agent spoke for the party of us. We love coaching here. We love being here. That's part of it. And that's a compliment to our players. It's a compliment to our staff. That's a compliment to the University of Minnesota. When your name's being mentioned for different things. So I know that's hard for people to kind of see at times. But we love it here. We love being the head coach at the University of Minnesota. We love working for Mark Coyle. So hope the feeling's the same on the outside.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Andy Greeter, Pioneer Press. Andy.
PJ, one of the best signing day traditions is your storytelling on each recruit. I'm not going to try to pronounce the new guy's name from Arizona. What was the story with recruiting him? I know you guys wanted more alignment.
Yeah, Saya is an unbelievable human being, and Mapa Kaitolo is how I pronounce it. I guess that's the way it's probably pronounced, but probably done in a better accent than me. But Saya is we wanted to be able to sign another offensive lineman. Not only that, we brought in Carter Shaw, who's a transfer from Utah State, who Mike Sanford had spent a lot of time with and knew a lot about. So that helped with that. We wanted to be able to bring in offensive linemen for the 21 class. Same thing. It's going to be more focused. Everything in the Big Ten's up front, right? Front seven, offensive line, tight ends. And, I think this year, our offensive line is going to be one of the largest in the country, one of the most experienced in the country. Feel really good about where we're at. You can sit there and look at, we have 8-9 starters. When we first got here, we had 4 total on the entire team. Now we have 8, 9 starters, in my opinion, that can play Big Ten football. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be creative. But Saya adds depth. He's a young man who's really going to, I think, blossom in our culture, in our program. It comes from an unbelievable family. And like I said, we're looking for the perfect fit. If we got to go out to Mesa, we'll go out to Mesa to find the perfect fit. And Saya seems to be that.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Dave Campbell with the Associated Press.
Hey, PJ, obviously recruiting over the last year in the pandemic has been, it's probably something you as a staff has never done before. I'm wondering if there's any, wrinkles to how you had to do that you think might actually be useful in the future when, hopefully things are as back to normal as possible.
I think we've all learned a lot what we can do away from the office, right? Whether it's the Zoom technology, as many FaceTimes as we've done, we've had to get really creative inside our program, even just with the visits on campus. I think Garrett Chernoff, his entire recruiting staff has done an unbelievable job of making sure that, 3/4 of the players who really signed with us around that have never even visited campus, never even met me. And think about how hard that is as a parent or as a player to not only commit, but be out of state and do that and never see it and never meet the head coach. That I give credit to all the student athletes out there that signed today to be able to have the courage to do what a lot of them did. And that takes a long time to be able to build. I always talk about trust comes down to 3 things, and Kevin Eastman writes this in his book, Why the Best Are the Best. So I'm stealing it from him, but it's time, consistency, and proof. Okay. The time's one thing, the consistency is another thing, but the proof, a lot of these players didn't have the proof. They weren't able to go there, meet it, feel it, experience it. So we had to bring that experience to them. So not only are we going to be able to have that in person at some point, but we're also going to be able to have the ways to be able to do it when they aren't here. So you'll be able to combine all that together and hopefully even have more of or even a better recruiting experience than we've ever had before. There's a lot of lessons we've learned in 2020, not only just in life, but also the way we run our program and our culture. And that's why we talked about 2020 not being a year for everything that you wanted, but to be thankful for everything that you had and to be able to listen. And it was the year of listening. And we were able to do that to our own program to make it better. And I think we have.
Hey, real quick follow-up. Did you have a favorite of one of these new wrinkles, like, a virtual tour of the campus as an example? Anything that really stood out to you?
I thought it was interesting. Jamison Gears, our tight end from Providence Catholic, it's not just about us giving tours. We're giving tours of our building, giving tours of our campus, giving tours all over. And his mom grabbed the phone and said, "You know what? I'm tired of all your tours." And if you ever meet his mom, she's a firecracker now. She is awesome. She's got energy. She's got way more energy than I do. Sitting at the table, their family said, "We're wondering who talks more, Coach Fleck or you?" And I think that was a compliment to both of us, maybe, or a knock on both of us, but it came from their family. But she took the phone and said, "You know what? We're tired of your tours. You're going on a tour of our house. We're getting a home visit." And so we did a whole tour of her house and went to every single room, behind every door. We saw everything on every wall. And I thought that was really creative. I thought that was a lot of fun. And those are the stories that you remember because it's all done virtually. So things like that, that really stick in your mind. There's always random people that show up in the background that you don't know, that you get a chance to say hi to, and different family members. And, even Saya, who just signed. He's got a bunch of little nephews and cousins and that keep running around there that look like future prospects. So I definitely said hi to the 4-year-old and 2-year-old, just so they make sure they remember this face down the road.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Dane Mizutani with St. Pioneer Press. Dane, go ahead.
Hey, PJ. I just wanted to ask you about Tyler Johnson. I know you mentioned just the excitement on watching him and Antoine play this weekend, but the NFC Championship game's on the line, and Tom Brady looks Tyler Johnson's way on 3rd down. He draws the penalty. Does that surprise you, or is that something that you come to expect, that he rises to the occasion in those big moments?
Yeah, it doesn't shock me at all. That's who Tyler Johnson is. And it says a lot about Tyler, but it says a lot about Tom Brady, right? With a rookie receiver out there on a big 3rd down going his way. So it's not even just what I think. I mean, you know, Tom was the one with the ball and had the ability to put the program or the organization in his hands and threw it to Tyler. But that's who Tyler is. You know, I mean, when you look at Tyler, all the things he did for this program, all the huge catches, all the special catches, all the one-hand catches, all the big moment catches, the Georgia Southern fade catch that looks routine, that's very difficult to do. The spring game catch down the sideline. I mean, you can make a highlight tape just here from practice and games of Tyler Johnson that last hours of his catches. So it doesn't surprise me. You know, you can just watch him continually get better. He's got a great understanding and always has. Matt Simon did a great job of developing him here, of, you know, understanding balance, understanding center of gravity. He has a great sense of spatial awareness. His catch radius is massive. He's got great body control. He can distort his body in all different types of ways while in the air, which is very difficult to do. And then, you know, he plays the game the right way. And he plays really hard for his teammates. And I'm just so proud of him. I'm so proud of Antoine, Damian. It's just great to see Gophers. And there was great to see Gophers in the playoffs with Kamal Martin. And you can go on and on about the guys from last year, the 5 guys that were drafted. It was just so exciting to watch, guys. And as we keep going through the years here, it's going to be even more exciting as more Gophers consistently get drafted year in, year out.
Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dane. Thank you, Coach. We'll take 2 more. We'll go to Ryan Burns, and then we'll finish with Chris Long. Ryan, go ahead.
PJ, I was curious if you're anticipating any staff changes from last year to this year. You've had some guys come and go over the last few years. I'm curious if you see that happening again here in February. And I'm also curious if you are thinking about having any coaches change positions, or if you're going to add any more titles like co-offensive coordinator or co-defensive coordinator or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't anticipate, I'll put it this way. I don't think we'll have any other changes, but I always anticipate we will. How's that? In the coaching profession, I even tell our players that. I said, that's why I always talk about, you know, our position coaches are kind of like your uncles, and your head coach is kind of like your dad, right? I mean, you know, the uncles at times are going to move and go different places and go get their dreams to come true and go be head coaches, go be coordinators. You know, I've said that from the start. Now, you guys it sounds like a broken record. I want my guys to accomplish what they want to accomplish in their life. And if I can help them and they can do that somewhere else that helps them get to where they want to go, I want to be able to help them do that. If they feel they can stay here and get that same experience, good. I want them here. I think we have a fantastic staff. I think our staff has great cohesiveness and togetherness. But you just never know. I mean, there's a lot of NFL jobs out there still moving around. I mean, college jobs have just moved in the last week or 2. You just never know, but you're always prepared for it. You're always ready for guys to be able to move on. Don't want anybody to move on, but those are the things that you deal with as a head coach, that if it makes their dream come true, and if that continues to get them to where they want to be, you support them 100%. But even keeping that open communication with our players, saying that, I'm not saying anybody's going to leave, guys, but this is the time that they do. And if they do, you know, I'm going to hire an amazing coach, an amazing person, and a person that's going to be able to develop you just as good, if not better. So that's what I've done for 9 years, and that's what we'll continue to do. But I don't think we will, Ryan, to answer your question. But again, the anticipation, you always have to anticipate. We have really good coaches who every year people come after, and you know, you're always prepared for that.
Thank you, Coach. Last question goes to Chris Long, KSTP. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, PJ, one quick one. Just, do you have can you give us the number of guys that you already have enrolled? And then after that, a lot of people are saying this, at least on paper, is the best class you've had. You know these guys a lot better than we do. Forget the paper. Do you think, and I know this might be like asking people which of their kids they like best, but you think this is your best class?
Well, I know the one of my children, my own children, that we really have to worry about. And so I'm not saying favorites or no favorites, but we always know which one we always have to worry about the most. I will say this. I think this is an outstanding class, outstanding people. I mean, even the half of them that are already here have picked it up just like that. I mean, you think they've been here. That's the most impressive part to me, is the people who've come early, they act like they've been here 4 years. And maybe that's the combination of the transfers plus the young players, plus the leadership that we have on our team already. That's pretty established. That's been here a long time. That's been in the culture for a long time. Guys that have chose to stay for some 6-7 years now. But, you know, I'm really impressed with this class as people. And we always talk about this, and you know this, Chris, I talk about fit, period. We always talk about starting in state, period. We're always going to be that way, but we want the right fit. And if, 3 out of the 7 best players in Minnesota want to come to Minnesota and are the right fit, so be it. That's the ones we're going to take. That's going to be the fit. Then we'll expand from there. That's always where we start. But these guys are really special. And you can see the athleticism every year and the skill set every year. And I think the talent of the person continually go up. That's a credit to our players, having success on the field, having success of our brand at the University of Minnesota. That's a tribute to our coaches and our players for representing Minnesota, the Twin City area, our row the boat culture in a first-class fashion. We just broke a record GPA. Again, for the fall semester. So we went through a pandemic, the social injustice, the politics of everything that was going on in our world. And our players got a 3.41, right? 3.41 semester GPA average. That's unheard. I've never seen anything like that before. And they just continue to raise the bar. And we talk about a player-led team. I think that's why the transformation, that's why the quality of people we continue to get, I think, continues to go up, because it's the players. It's the guys on our team that are, helping recruit these players. Or, when they come in, this isn't like, hey, rookie, carry the ball back. We don't haze. We don't have anything like that in this program. They embrace them. They embrace the competition. We compete with, not against. We promote competition in a very healthy way. And you look at what these guys have done. With their platform and their voice. It's a very powerful team, and it's a very fun team to coach. And you learn a lot as a coach from these players. So looking at the class coming in, it just, the future's really bright at the University of Minnesota. And I'm really excited for our fans. I'm so excited to get our fans back somehow, some way, when we can do that. I'm excited to even have you guys back in person. All these empty chairs. I mean, I can see you, Chris, but I can only see half your face, and I don't see anybody in this chair. Garrett's over here. Moss is over here. I mean, that's about it. And I can't wait to have our type of normalcy back. And what makes our program really powerful is that personal touch, that connection, those people, that togetherness, which we've had to find a way to be able to make happen without, having it for real, which is an enormous challenge. So can't wait to see everybody. Can't wait to watch this class grow. They've been working really hard for the last 3 weeks. It's been fun to watch this group. Dan Nickel, his entire strength staff has been unbelievable. Everybody's working together. Everybody's in a really good place here. Really appreciate Mark Coyle's leadership and President Gable's leadership, because 2020 was a very difficult year, which we all know, but a lot that we learned from that we can apply in 21 to Daniel's question. So appreciate everybody's time. I'm sure you got some Super Bowl coverage to get to. Row the boat, Sky Ma, go Gophers. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you, Coach.